As I sit in this old playground of my childhood and write this, I feel nostalgic. Even as the paint peels off the metal and the gophers pit the grass, I can still remember the intoxicating wave of freedom that would engulf me after school. The long gone era, when even digital playgrounds relied on analog experiences, still echo in my memory. Before liking something meant nothing. Before being seen meant something. When experiences had in person meant everything. Alright, smart guy, what are you gonna do with all that nostalgia?
Welcome to Side by Side. This is a local co-op game show where we sit down and we dissect what makes a really good or really bad or just generally interesting cooperative gaming experience. I'm sitting here with Cassidy.
Hi.
And I'm Dylan, and we are going to basically explore games that I don't think get enough attention or just possibly need a little bit of a showcase to really get themselves a little more notoriety and a better understanding of like what would make a good experience. So I have some interesting questions for you today.
I'm ready. Yeah, let's go.
Have you ever contemplated the end of society?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, gotta have the different plans for how the world's gonna come to an end. I watch a lot of horror movies, so I see lots of different apocalyptic scenarios. And you always want to imagine, how you'd survive or if you'd survive if they ever came to be.
What if there were zombies?
If there were zombies, honestly depends on what kind of zombies. We're talking like 28 Days Later kind of zombies. We're talking about World War Z zombies. We're talking about like Night of the Living Dead zombies. What kind of zombies? Because that changes my answer.
Yeah, shamblers aren't really scary, are they?
No, but you can just walk faster than them.
No, like let's say closer to 28 Days Later.
Right, okay. Fast and angry.
Yeah, rage virus.
Rage virus, yes, rage virus.
Yeah.
I think my best bet, because I'm really not the most athletic person, would be to join a group and find safety in numbers.
Do you have skills?
I have skills? Social skills, very, very friendly.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, no, I would, I don't know, I would need to find some way to prove myself in which I could join the group. I know how to draw blood, so maybe I don't know how that would help me at all.
So in case we need to do a little
blood transfusion,
culture.
little blood culture. I got you guys.
Okay.
That the science scene. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it depends to me entirely on like what zombie virus, where I'm at, who I know. It's a lot of ifs, ands, and maybes on that.
All right, so I'm kind of asking these questions because today we're gonna talk about Dysmantle. Dysmantle is a game that coming into this, I didn't really know what it was other than the trailers. And the trailers were kind of like zombie survival situation light. Like, we're not really dealing with heavy problems. We're not having to deal with water or food. I haven't really seen a whole lot about it. I just watched some trailers on Steam. It had some good reviews. I figured, let's just see what happens, you know?
Let's go for it.
It had a cute little aesthetic, very, very chill. It wasn't dark and awful.
The cute zombies, it's fun.
And so I just thought it'd be fun to start off with something that like wasn't that hardcore, something that we could probably pick up pretty quick and like not quite a party game, but like
Yeah, easy to get into, fun to start. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. So yeah, we're gonna check out Dysmantle today, and we'll let you know how it goes. So we just played Dysmantle for, I don't know, a while. Enough to get a good grip on it. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was super fun. It's a cute little casual game. It is very repetitive. I don't know how much longevity it will have or how much I can see myself playing it over and over again, but it was very cute.
Yeah. Initially, I think what the experience felt like for me was like, this is a very casual, fun little couch co-op. Like, you could just sit down and chill and just have a conversation. But the game itself is kind of like a foil for you to just hang out. Yeah,
you don't have to focus on the game at all. You can very much kind of half play it while you chat with your friends. It doesn't require too much attention. It's very fun, very low commitment.
Yeah, well, there's not really much of a combat system. It's just you hammer and run. A lot of hammer and running and rolling away.
A little bit of dodge roll.
The name of it's Dysmantle. I mean, it's fun to take things apart. It's very satisfying to break stuff.
It is. It makes you want to break everything, even when you have 1,000 plant matter or ceramics. You just want to keep smashing stuff because it is very satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, there's a catharsis to it in the way that, like, I remember playing like Red Faction back like many years ago, and like, it was one of the first games where you could really destroy your environment. And I remember like, oh, you don't have a key card? Well, do you have a rocket launcher? It's good enough. And you
enough.
could just break a hole through a wall. And there was a little bit of that here where it's just kind of like, you can knock holes in walls, and you have something in your way. Well, just
break it down.
throw a hand grenade at something and open it up, which is kind of funny because we're like using like a hammer. Not even a hammer.
We don't have a hammer.
We have a pry bar.
Crowbar.
Yeah, and you
same thing.
and then you're like, well, now I have a machete. Now I have a baseball bat. Also, I have a hand grenade.
Out of nowhere.
Where did you get the hand grenade from? Like, how do you build a hand grenade? Like, where do you get a hand grenade?
I was really expecting like a Molotov cocktail to be a thing because that seems very like simple and something you could make with things you could find.
it would
But they
make
skipped
sense.
right to frag grenade, which was interesting.
Yeah, and it's a great weapon, but it's
I'm not mad at it. I'm happy to have the frag grenade.
Yeah.
This guy was reading a lot down in his little bunker to learn how to make those.
Apparently, anarchist cookbook. Now we're flagged on YouTube. What did you think of the graphics? The further in you got some time to actually play it and look at it. What did you think of it visually?
I like the graphics. I thought they're cute. I like the bright colors. I guess I wish there were more unique character models. I think that'd be neat. Like instead of having a clone, like you could actually pick a secondary character or different, more zombie varieties. You had like the Tammys of all the different women's, and then you have the little Skeletor dudes with their knife hands, and you had a lot
the screaming one.
Screaming one.
Yeah, they always look exactly the same.
The fatty dudes, the big Berthas.
I think that kind of goes hand in hand with this being an indie title. That you have a lack of assets for a number of reasons, but mostly I would imagine it's because it's the sheer amount of time it takes to develop something like this. Because everything is the same, it's very identifiable.
It is nice. Everything breaks down at the same thing over time. So, like, oh, I need ceramic. Let's go for the coffee pots. Like, oh, I need rubber. Let's go for the tires.
Yeah.
So on
But the later game stuff becomes like, wow, I'm really looking for a computer. There aren't many computers in this world.
No.
But there's a building full of phones.
Buildings full of phones and one computer.
Yeah, so I think...
I love how old the technology is, too. That's an old computer. Those were, like, old phones. They had little handset.
It felt very 80s, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Part of this whole world, beyond just graphics, just the aesthetics, like, it felt good.
Right. And it was crazy that there are so many hours put in the game that we played, and we barely unlocked a fraction of the map. Like, there was still quite a bit left. So
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I want, like, could I do this for another 30 hours? Like, I wonder what other enemies there'd be, or if new items come up.
There's no learning curve other than just like, you just hammer away at stuff. And I think that's the nice part about it is like, if I were to introduce this to someone who's never played a game or doesn't know how to play games very well, I think it would be very beginner friendly.
Oh, extremely beginner friendly. Like you can even just like focus on just the movement, how the other person the camera. If you're like not good with the double joystick thing.
Sure.
That seems to trip up a lot of my friends who don't play games, is using both thumbs at the same time.
Well, this isn't a split screen game either.
No.
This is a shared screen.
Yeah, which is
So
nice. Well, we were fighting over camera control.
we did a little bit, yeah. So anytime the camera moves a little bit, I'm like,
And I
just
moved it
move
all the time. I like to move because I like to use it to look through walls and just look up and down to find stuff. I just
Well, yeah, you definitely need to do that because that's something that when I was playing, I realized was kind of a troublesome choice, was that there's no transparency to walls or transparency to trees or environmental things that get in your way. So it was difficult to like traverse.
to navigate a bit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, just like getting around something, you're like, what am I getting stuck on? And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, there's like a.
I
plant
find
or-
myself walking into a rock and not knowing until I turn the camera. I'm like, oh, there's a rock there. That's why I've been running in place for 5 seconds.
Yeah, because there's a lot of trees. You're in a forest.
Yeah.
So effectively, like the setting is this big forest that has like a few little like weird. They feel
Little
like dorm. They
towns,
feel like dorm
dorms.
rooms though. Like none of these houses are built like houses.
They don't really make sense.
Like I can see how the house kind of is reminiscent of a house.
Right. I mean, it had
But you
beds and.
but you walk into a house and there's 3 kitchens in this house.
Right.
Why is there 3 kitchens in this house?
Right.
And that's when you start to realize it's just a resource gathering arena. That's what these are. Like, we're just gonna give, like, oh, at this point you're gonna need a bunch of porcelain, so we're gonna give you
put
a
it all
bunch of
together.
porcelain. Yeah.
They've got like
There's a lot of junk around, a lot of
Random
trash.
stuff.
And there's a lot of houses that were extremely, extremely decayed, like holes in the sides of the building. I would wonder what happened there and like how it got to be so bad. But there wasn't a lot of like real environmental storytelling. in
no,
that
not
way.
much lore to find. I think this game is one that you really don't need any sort of backstory. The game's called Dysmantle. You're there to dismantle. Just go break shit and have fun.
Yeah.
I think the other stuff is just kind of it's not deep enough lore to make me want to search it out or pay close attention
what
to it.
lore is there to have? You, the world fell apart. You went and hid. You ran out of supplies. It's time to go out and break some stuff. If I want to deal with a narrative, I want it to come in one of two ways. I want to experience the narrative. I want it to be very much a show don't tell. Or I want to run into a situation where I am compelled to want to figure it out. Like if I want to have environmental storytelling done, you will walk out into the forest and you will come across a trail of blood. And you'll say, what is this? Where is this going? And you will instinctually want to follow that trail of blood.
Yeah.
And you will be led to a house. And in this house, you'll start to discover the story of what happened to this person.
Got incentive.
Yeah, and
Motive.
that's environmental storytelling.
Yeah.
It just felt like pieces on a field.
Basically, yeah. It was very repetitive, very, very basic. I mean, cute, fun, bright, oddly cheery for a zombie game.
Very cheery.
I know, it's just like, oh, it's so cute. Even though they're monsters, it's so adorable.
If you could change anything, what would you like it to be? If you could make like a Dysmantle 2, what would you like it to look like?
Dysmantle 2? I mean, I'm huge into lore, so definitely add more lore. Like, I would add, like, maybe bunkers you can explore, maybe different groups, factions you can trade with or upgrade gear with.
survivors.
Other survivors. Yeah, that'd be great. Just things like that. I would love to, find a barricaded house and then maybe a trail of notes, and then you either find a dead body inside or you see where they're hiding out or they leave you a secret stash. I don't know. I just kind of like
There was a little bit of that.
There was a touch of that. There's like kind
Yeah.
of like looking for the keys stuff here and there. That was cute.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. Those are the favorite quests that we did. Way more fun than the cooking or farming ones. What would you change? We could
I think I'd make it more arcadey.
more arcadey.
Yeah, I would. Pacing needs to be faster.
Yeah. Right.
I am waiting to get a better piece of equipment to break stuff. Like my whole, the lifeblood of this game is destroy stuff.
Yeah, we were constantly checking for a while. Like, when can we upgrade? When can we get this? When can we get that? They're locked away for a while. And then when it makes you unlock one thing before you can move on to the next. So sometimes we have to unlock a kind of a shitty item to get to the slightly better item that was after it, or in the hopes that the item after it was better, because you can't see until you unlock it.
So overall, I'd say this would be a game I would recommend if you wanted to play with somebody who isn't into games and you don't necessarily care about finishing it. If you don't care about finishing the game, great, go for it.
Honestly, though, even though it has zombies, I think it's a game you could easily play with children. I mean, it's no like gore or anything. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, no, it's
I
it's
play with my
very
little
lightweight.
sister. She would like it.
I think if I'd play with somebody maybe 10 years old.
Oh yeah, 10 or 11. I think
Yeah.
that's-
A parent and child could play, or a couple who just likes casual stuff, or you want to try to trick your dad into playing a game that he's not really into playing, But overall, I'd say, if you're not into that kind of stuff, I'd probably pass.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, that's it for today. That's it for this round of Side by Side. Thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll have more for you later.
Thank you.
All right.
Is that it?
I think so.
I hope those kids that I bullied to get off the swing so I could shoot this footage don't come back with their dads.